Welcome to the Potter Blog site, December 10th, 2013. The United States Centers for Disease Control are contracting out for the emergency delivery of the Strategic National Medical Stockpile to the Pacific Islands. Specifically, they are targeting U.S. Pacific Island protectorates and allies. They have contracted with, they're contracting two ASIA Pacific Airlines for 3 Boeing 727s to make these emergency deliveries. Now, this exact scenario was war-gamed back in August 27th through the 29th in what was known as Operation Lightning Rescue. It was held in American Samoa and Palau, where they war-gamed specifically the spread of pandemic influenza in the Pacific Islands. Why the Pacific Islands? Well, first of all, it's closest to China, and it's exactly where high-wealth Chinese may flee to avoid the pandemic. Now, there's two things to be aware of in this. First is they awarded this contract, or they're awarding this contract directly without doing a preliminary bid or source selection. Now, they did try to do a source selection a few months ago, and this is key into understanding the planning of the U.S. government and what their capability is to plan these things. And they put out a request a few months back for surge-capable delivery of the Strategic National Stockpile to the Pacific. And they wrote the request in such a way that only Superman could have filled it out. Only Superman could have made this completion of this delivery, maybe Santa Claus. Now, the reason we should be concerned about that is whoever these federal planners are, they have no concept of what's capable in reality for the commercial market to do. So they had to scrap that initial situation, and now because of the uptick in what's happening in China, they've decided to do an immediate award for 3 Boeing 727s. Now, there are limitations to these Boeing 727s, and namely they carry cargo best in the Pacific from west to east, and that is because of fuel requirements of the 727 and the prevailing winds. And fortunately, Asia Pacific Airlines is located in Guam, so that is also where the Strategic National Stockpile for that area is co-located. So they'll be able to make deliveries rapidly to the east and to these closer western islands. A little more difficult for them to make it to the Pacific and to the Hong Kong, even though that's in their area. Now, as we said, some of this planning is so ridiculous that it's obvious that some of these people, these federal organizations making these plannings, have no clue what they're doing. Another recent one that occurred was a request to have 200,000 doctor's scrubs, tops and bottoms, delivered to 1,000 locations across the United States within 24 hours. Basically to FEMA medical camps that were being set up in preparation for H7N9 pandemic influenza across the country. There's nobody in the country who keeps 200,000 doctor's scrubs sitting on standby of various sizes to be delivered in 24 hours notice. Yet that's what the government asked for. There's a whole list of planning like this that it's just frankly embarrassing that they would put this stuff out, because off the top of their head they should have known it was not possible. So if H7N9 for some reason does become a super deadly pandemic, you're a lot of ways on your own. Now, the good news is we think the odds are low in 2013, probably a little higher in 2014. And we also think the impact is potentially lower than has been previously let on. Actually, we're starting to be more concerned about the things the government has done to prepare for H7N9. And those things are very worrisome. And what makes them worrisome is public health is one of the few arenas where the government claims that it can basically disregard the Constitution.